It's 3231. Time for another 9 a.m. chill. How are you? If you're watching anywhere on the internet right now, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to me. I hope you say hi. If even if this is like a replay for you, please get in touch with me. Say hello. I love to meet new people. I love to reconnect with old friends. That's the whole reason to do this interactive stuff so that we can talk. I am right now broadcasting. Good morning, Chris. Right now I'm broadcasting on YouTube and Twitter Live and Twitch and Periscope, which will be Twitter Live, and Facebook Live, and on the HAPS app. Happy Hump Day to you as well, sir. Please download the HAPS app if you do not have it. They're doing wonderful things. It's in beta, so they've got a ways to go. But you can download the HAPS app, subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I go live. Or, subscribe to me wherever you're watching this, because I'd love to stay in touch with folks. I talk about a bunch of interesting things. We talk about fun stuff like what's going on in your day, casual conversation. We talk about nerd culture. Specifically, there is one thing that I cannot wait to start talking about again. I shared your stream on Twitter. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. There are bugs to work out, by the way. Like some people on one platform can't read the comments from people on another platform. That's why I just suggest getting on the HAPS app. That way you can be notified. You can talk to people all over the internet that way. But we're trying to make things come together. In fact, I just got on TikTok recently. I've been making some content for TikTok, letting everybody know basically what I'm about, kind of things that I want to do in my future. Having my friends, having followers, new followers, get on board to be part of a community. I'm very interested in forming a community with people, not just hey, click the button so that my numbers go up as far as how many followers I have or anything, but actually getting people that have common interests, that have a passion in something. Everybody likes something. And maybe you like a certain TV show, or you like a certain movie or a comic book or a video game, or maybe you play role-playing games, or something along those lines, some kind of entertainment, kind of a general thing. Maybe you travel. That's something I'm interested in as well. I'm a van lifer, coming on 2 years being on the road. So the more the merrier. And getting back to what I was saying about TikTok, it's a new platform I'm trying to jump on. So if you have TikTok, it's easy to download. Doesn't cost you anything. There's some funny, entertaining stuff on there. I myself would like to be counted amongst the entertaining, fun stuff that's on there. One of the things that I'm focusing on TikTok is talking about a project that's very near and dear to my heart called 10,000 Worlds. It looks like there's a smudge on my nose. Is there a smudge on my nose? I think I got it. All right. Pardon me for that distraction. So there's a project that I am working on that I'm very interested in getting people to know about called 10,000 Worlds. I like tabletop role-playing games, and I am a creative person that any chance I get, like I'm in my car, I'm in my van a lot. My van is my home, so I'm driving quite often. As I'm driving, I think about fun things to think about. Sometimes you do what if I won lotto? How would I spend my money? Sometimes you're like, sometimes I'm thinking about like music or a place of music or something like that. But a lot of times I'm thinking about the idea that I have of designing my own tabletop role-playing game that anybody could play. If you have never played a tabletop role-playing game in your life, you can play. If you've played tabletop role-playing games all your life, you can play this. Everybody can come together, new people, experienced folks, in creating characters and following an adventure. Uh, it's one of the things that like I get very excited about when I think about um, where that's where I'm saying if you like a TV show or if you like the movie or a certain cinematic universe, if you enjoy like a book, stories about characters going through adventures, dealing with challenges, obstacles, joining together with other characters in order to, you know, go on a journey to some conclusion. It's like it's a very simple concept of entertainment, and much like a movie or a TV show, a TV series, that sort of thing, it's a matter of people writing out these characters, storytelling. There's a thing called a writing room where a bunch of people sit down and they hash out, okay, we have these set of characters, we have the setting, this place where they are, what goals do they have, where can we take the story, what plot twist can we put in there, if these are our protagonists, who are the antagonists, who are the ones that are creating the conflict, that are creating the challenges that our main characters have to face, what obstacles they have to overcome, that sort of thing. So the type of game that I want to do is one where 4 or 5 people can sit at a table and all create the characters, deal with the setting, create their own challenges, create their own plot twists, and I call it a collective narrative, collaborative storytelling. So this is the kind of thing that I want to pitch on YouTube and on other platforms as well. But I especially am very intrigued about doing this on TikTok because of the particular format that TikTok has. You can do a 15-second thing or you can do a 60-second thing. And I like the challenge that it provides, the exercise of being concise and saying what I need to say in little 1-minute chunks. I dig that very much. Also, the fact that there's already built-in community. Some folks have said, and I myself have thought, that TikTok was just a bunch of kids, like a newfangled Vine sort of thing, just a bunch of kids getting on there and dancing or, cracking jokes or something like that in 15 seconds. But it's a lot more than that. The communities are a lot more diverse. There's cute stuff, there's sexy time stuff, there's some genuine funny stuff, there's a community of people who just want to spread positivity. There's some negative on there as well, but that's the internet for you. But the thing that I'm interested in is, like, there's a lot of nerd culture on there that I'm starting to connect with, I'm starting to get into. I dig it. I can't wait to be a part of that. I've already favorited a bunch of hashtags, tabletop RPG and DMs of TikTok and stuff like that. So there's communities that or at least hashtags that I can access to get to those topics. And I've already followed some creators, some personalities on there that like to seriously discuss tabletop games. I'm in. I want to meet these people. I want to talk to these people, collaborate with these folks. So that's something that I plan on doing as well. And hopefully they'll bring in the conversation onto here. Not just communicate with them directly, but have them join the community and talk like live, where other people can interact and ask questions and maybe play a game. That's what I want, is I want some serious nerds to join in. And hopefully the goal would be to provide some entertainment for even the casual gamer, or someone that is not familiar with tabletop games and maybe just likes video games or board games or something like that. And again, like I said, folks that have never experienced it at all. The whole idea is to create something where a bunch of people can come together whose Venn diagram connects in one way or another. Maybe you like science fiction and maybe your friend likes horror, but the two of you like, movies, horror movies, sci-fi movies. There's a place where those two things, science fiction horror, supernatural horror, that sort of thing, there's a place where those two things meet, and you occupy the same space. That's kind of the idea, of the entire 3231 community, the whole thing that I want to dedicate my life to, and also specifically a storytelling game like 10,000 Worlds, where it could be as casual as you want it to be, as epic as you want it to be. I love that a lot. For example, there's a game out that's very popular called Dungeons and Dragons. Been around for decades. It's been around longer than I've been alive. Just about. And I like role-playing games dealing with other themes. I've played Dungeons and Dragons, and it's not that I'm not fond of it. It's just I prefer other genres. This could be a game that someone who's really into Dungeons and Dragons can enjoy. There could be people who have, like I said, never played anything at all. Maybe they like tabletop games, but they don't like that particular genre. They want something sci-fi. They want something modern. They want something, more like espionage, or maybe something post-apocalyptic, or swords and sandals. Maybe not so much, elves and magic and wizards and swords and stuff like that, but more along the lines of like a Conan the Barbarian type of a thing, or maybe you like westerns. Maybe you like space westerns. You can mix stuff up. And my goal was to provide a game that could bring all those types together under one story. So yeah, that's something that I'm really excited about. And I have to figure out a way to share all that in 1 minute increments. Hopefully not do like a 10-parter type of thing. But good morning. We watched the Zach's Justice League. So good. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Good morning, Jenna. Yeah, there were a couple things on TikTok that were like side-by-side comparisons of scenes between the characters in Zach's version and in Joss Whedon's version, where the pacing is just different. Took us 300 days. Just kidding. Yeah, I can imagine. That's something interesting about that, is that people feel compelled to sit down and watch all 4 hours in one sitting. You don't necessarily have to. It's possible to just, watch a little bit at a time. But I don't think people get so used to 90 minutes, enjoying a whole thing in 90 minutes, just like people are used to taking 20 minutes to eat dinner and that's it, or 15 minutes to eat dinner and then that's it. It's like, things aren't, we did it by parts. Good. there's no one way to consume your entertainment. There's no one way to consume your meal, kind of thing, and get enjoyment out of it. So that's something that people need to wrap their heads around. Just like with the media stuff, just like I was talking about, I enjoy this, the long form, spending 45 minutes to an hour discussing something. I like taking 60 seconds and to say something. So it's different strokes. I'm a slow eater, so it takes me an hour to eat. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Like I said, there's no wrong way to enjoy the thing that you enjoy. If however long it takes you to find that enjoyment, and Jenna took that dirty. I know for a fact. She didn't have to say anything. Sometimes it pays to take your time. Sometimes if you can get what you want quick enough, you'll do it that way. They say it's better for you to eat slow than fast. I've heard that as well. I've heard that too. I still say Jenna made that dirty though. So pardon me. Thirsty today. So that's what's going on through my brain. Always taking it dirty. That's what's going on in my brain. The potential to meet people to discuss a specific thing. I'm very excited about that. And on top of that, I'm still very excited about the trip in April. It's coming along pretty nice. Oh, because I didn't turn the key the whole way. Actually, I don't even need that on. I'm looking forward to the trip to Tennessee. That's going to be very cool. I won't be alone, so I don't want to bore my brother too much on the trip down talking about nerdy stuff. So, but then again, who knows who's going to be on here watching along with us at particular times. So maybe that's for the best that I'm given the challenge of talking about things other than nerd culture stuff. I love talking about nerdy stuff and sex. Yes, that's right. Yeah, same here. We've made that a community tradition. That's the nerdy and dirty is the foundation of the 3231 community. So, and in both cases, the more the merrier. And food, that's right. So again, I'm really excited that I'm gonna be able to travel again, hit the road, and although who knows how long I might sleep while we're on the road. I don't know. Oh, another thing that we did, I cleaned the van. The van is practically spotless. That's why I love this community. That's right. So I removed everything from the van except for the bed frame and the mattress. I washed the mattress. The You notice there's no curtain there now, but there's also none of my clothes underneath is all cleaned out. Like the floor is clean. I didn't mop the floor. Vacuum the floor. Wipe down all the dashboard. Wipe down the doors. I heard back from the claims adjuster and was told to submit pictures of all four corners of the van. So I took some pictures and submitted those. I'm waiting to hear back from them as far as an estimate on the damage, and I opted for them to just send me the money so that I have the money and I can. Your brother isn't a nerd, Matt. Mike is not really a nerd. No, he likes music. He's he's a nerd in the sense of like he's a car nerd, a truck nerd, motor grease monkey type of a nerd. He loves buying old crappy vehicles and stuff and fixing it up a little bit and then reselling it. He kind of wants to do that with like old Ford parts and stuff. Like that's one of the things that he wants to do in his mind of an ideal like retirement type of a thing. He wants to get like an old truck. And in fact, he recently purchased an old truck, and he's waiting to have it delivered. He wants to work on that, like a delivery type of truck, and he wants to put like his tools and stuff in the back and be able to tow a trailer behind him, work on stuff. He wants to like buy parts and fix up parts, buy something for 200, sell it for 300 kind of stuff. So, like the RV. Yeah, that's one of his projects that he wants to do. He wants to take my RV and try to clean it up and get it to a point where he can resell it and make a little bit of money off of it. So yeah. Are you the oldest or is he? No, neither one of us are the oldest. I'm the youngest, and then I have four brothers older than myself. Let's say Bitcoin something. I can't read what it is. Yeah, I have oldest brother, and then my brother Mike, and then two other brothers, and then me. But I'm the baby of the family at 47 years old. Everybody else is like 3 years older than the next guy. Kind of like second oldest out of five. Nice. Yeah, all my brothers are old men. Not me, though. I'm a youngin'. Nope. Ignore all the gray hairs coming out of my beard and top of my head. Three brothers, one sister. Nice. Yeah, so he's like kind of into Red Sox baseball, and he's kind of into music, into 70s, 80s, like rock and roll kind of stuff, and he's into cars and stuff like that, motorcycles, that sort of thing. I don't know about either of those. I don't know about that entire statement. Smexy, cute youngin. I can't say anything to any of that. So, but yeah, he's funny. Like when I get on here, when we get on, we'll joke around and stuff. I was kind of upset because I wanted to get on. And talk to y'all while we had that fire going the other night before last, and the signal was garbage. So, well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, sir. I seem to find a lot of dudes that are attracted to me. The girls, not so much. The guys, is what it is, I guess. Um, Matter of fact, one of the people that are on TikTok actually lives in Oak Ridge, and I'm gonna end up talking to him and ask him about collaborating maybe when I get down there. Well, Jenna, you know how it is. You know how it is. Any girl that acts interested in me is already taken. All the good ones seem to be taken. Not that I'm in any way interested in connecting too much, considering my opinion of myself and my uncertainty of the future. Let's not get into that. That's a whole can of worms. Let's not get into that one. Like I said, I want to talk about fun stuff. Relationships, trying to find somebody to spend time with, that's not necessarily fun. That's anxiety ridden. So what else? I can't help that, but we definitely don't think you're bad looking. I can still say you look 30s. Well, thank you. Dare I say that on occasion, I even look at myself and say, all right, not bad. So I'll admit it myself. Um, so let's see, talked about TikTok, talked about 10,000 Worlds, about the um, I did want to reiterate for anybody watching that may have not seen this before that the April 19th through the 29th trip to Tennessee, I would love to be a dry run of, you know, future trips that I'd like to make involving a community, involving my friends. Uh, I've said so much on, I posted on TikTok that I would like friends along for the ride. I would like to have people that want to see certain places or would like to at least be entertained by someone experiencing certain things. Like I said, places to go down the road, places to eat, people to meet. Um, I don't want it to just be a journey of one. These my adventures down the road. I don't simply want to drive down the road and see things. I want people, I want friends involved. I want to share this with other folks and talk about things while we're doing it. That's the whole reason of being alive. That's at least for me. It appears to me that the reason for me to be alive is to connect with people, meet people, talk about things, go places. That is my goal for my life. So um, I plan on traveling more in the future, but it's got to start somewhere. And you know, take a trip in April, and then work in May. Take a trip in June, then work in July. Take a trip in August, then work in September. Then take a trip in October, then work in then work in November. It's like I want to make more of a habit, more of a routine out of switching back and forth. And I'm not, again, I can't state this enough. I'm not interested in just gaining followers on my pages. I'm not. Some folks seem to be more interested in analytics. And I really want to make that clear to people that aren't familiar with me, that it's not important to me so much that that number ticks up. That, you know, the numbers under the numbers under the heading of followers or subscribers. I'm not just looking for, I mean, the media platforms are interested in how many followers you have, not necessarily interested in your content or how you got them. They see 1,000 people, they think 1,000 people, whereas I am not interested in gaining thousands of people just for the sake of having high numbers, like quantifying my existence, quantifying my importance or contribution to the internet. I am very interested in gaining friends, having actual people that can view my content, have opinions, share those opinions, and share conversation with me. I could just turn off my phone and go drive down the road and sit and listen to music or watch somebody else do something on their accounts, you know, on their YouTube page or their Twitch channel or whatever. But I'm not satisfied in doing that. I don't have many opinions. You certainly do. I beg to differ. And your perspective is no less important than my perspective or anyone else's. So there are some very interesting things that we've discussed that interest me, you know, just as much as a video game or some TV show. Because just as much as the nerd culture conversations stimulate me, so do the conversations about, like, questioning a lot of things that have been a certain way for a very long time, that we can explore different, you know, different ways of living. Make me feel loved. Oh, well, you are loved. There are certain things in place in our lives that we call reality, that we look at and say that's the way that it is, that we have a feeling inside of ourselves that it doesn't have to be that way. Just because it is that way doesn't mean it can't change or can't improve. We can better ourselves as human beings. That's something that I love to explore. The way that technology can improve our lives, the way that entertainment can improve our lives. You know, thinking about philosophy, thinking about relationships, sex, talking about whole different aspects of who we are as human beings. I'm willing to talk about race. I'm willing to talk about gender. I'm willing to talk about philosophy. Certain concepts that, you know, delve into like economics and stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the experience discussing things, but as long as it's interesting conversation and it's stimulating conversation, I'm all in. I'm just more of a casual guy. There are a lot more people that are a little hardcore about it. Hello, sir. Hello, Ben. How are you, buddy? Speaking of certain concepts that challenge how we live as people, Ben is a great example of someone that I've sat down and I've had conversations about, you know, how are things now? How can things improve? What, what things can we do to stimulate ourselves, entertain ourselves, better ourselves as humans, help not only ourselves but everyone around us, help the planet itself. Those are things that I am interested in discussing, but it has to be with the right people. Hey, I had a teacher, G-Man's old teacher, really compliment his growth since one-on-one, even recommend me to another mom who's questioning homeschooling. That's awesome. That's very cool. And that's a big goal. That is a big achievement. Like, you're looking to do something to help your child, and it makes you a better person. It makes your child better, and it potentially makes other people want to do the same. Your deeds can dictate well, they're not that they can dictate, they do. Your deeds dictate the type of person that you are and want to become and will become. So that's amazing that, you do your thing, you try to be the best person. That's the goal of any person. It should be. You focus on doing a thing to make yourself better. You make yourself better. Other people will see it. Other people will want it. That's fantastic. These are the kind of conversations that maybe we don't have all day, every day, day, but they're conversations that need to exist, with people that are receptive to it, just like we want to be here for you too. Yeah, and that's that's something that, like, I want to be a better person. I want to talk better. I want to have something worthwhile to say. I want to be stimulated mentally. I want to be entertained and entertain myself. I want to improve as a person mentally, have a better perspective on myself and on life, understand things, connect with people. I could just as well do this, just talk to myself into my phone, and it would help me. Like I said, this has been my therapy for years. People think you can't homeschool different abilities, but you can. I approve of that. I would, in my opinion, that's the best way to homeschool. I mean, to deal with folks with, the differently abled. That's the best way to do it, is a caring person or number of people focusing on their development, cutting out a lot of stuff that's unnecessary, antiquated. Yeah, that just seems logical to me. That just seems like that just seems natural. But most people think only public schools can because they have services. How do they get those services? There are people that are interested in dealing with those issues, and they're funded. I mean, when it's a priority, anybody could do it. When you make it a priority, some people don't know how to enter in a parking lot when there's a divider. Like, I've seen so many people driving on the wrong side of the road. It's amazing. Anyways, I'm getting distracted by people pulling into this parking lot. So people can come in this way, or there's a divider, and then people can leave this way. Well, I've seen people come in this way. I've seen people leave that way. Well, and it's not one-on-one, it's a group. Yeah, when the money's there and when the demand is there, the thing will happen. And public schools, everyone think, oh, because it's a public school, that there are things in place for them to get funding and for them to get the proper, you give someone the proper attention because you're a public school. That's what a public school does. No, that's what a public school is supposed to be. There's a difference. What things should be and what things are often two different things. And just because that the goal is for a system to be one way doesn't mean that it's the best way. It's just the way that people have done it. But before there were public schools, there were community schools. There were, in smaller communities, people could handle certain things a certain way. But you build up the population. Well, you have to make room for more people, so you need bigger schools. Well, if you get bigger schools and you have more students, you need more teachers. In order to have more teachers teaching more students and bigger schools, you need the funding. And you put the funding into it, and then, well, now that we have the funding and we have to worry about more programs, that means we need more teachers, we need bigger buildings, we need more students, and it ends up just like bloating. It ends up just expanding into this thing that eventually is going to become unmanageable. The same thing with commerce. You have general stores that take care of a community. Well, the community grows, so the store has to grow. And where where there's more people and there's more product, you need a bigger building, so you need more money. So the whole thing revolves around the acquisition of money. And then there are corporations that see the money changing hands, and they're like, I want a piece of that. So they build their own thing bigger and bigger buildings. You end up with the malls. You end up with like the big bulk stores like the Walmarts and such that basically outdo the smaller mom and pop businesses, which are still necessary, but everyone thinks, oh, I just go to Walmart and get the one thing I need, most convenience. So you end up wiping out cycle never. Yeah, but the good part about that is it's a cycle. It's a cycle in the sense that eventually there's going to come a time, and that it's happening in a lot of different ways. The way that the system is, the way that things are right now. People, it's becoming, everything's online, everything is immediate, and everything is, you're dealing with punching a couple buttons and get what you want, immediate gratification. But there's also problems that come with that, because there's one thing that you want, and then there's the way that things are, which again, two different things. So just like schools, just like businesses, consuming things, I mean, it's just, there comes a point where it's going to become too much to handle. It's going to become too faulty, too many problems, and then suddenly there's a shift where everything's going to go back to the way that it was, like the whole popularity growing with homeschooling. People are starting to see that the way things are, and like, you know what, this is not the right way to do it. I need to take care of my kids, or my kids, we need to reel it back in and take care of our own families. And so yeah, it's a great thing that this conversation is happening for a lot of people. All across the board, in many different ways, people are starting to see the flaws in the system and they're starting to say not only not only are things wrong, but we need to start, it's get back to basics. Yeah. Not only is the current system flawed, not only are we finding problems, but we're also having discussions about solutions. Things need to go back to a different way of, we need to figure out a new way of doing things, which is actually, for the most part, turning out to be the old way of doing things. Ben and I talk about, and Ben talks about quite a bit to me, the stuff that he's interested in, which is figuring out what is the definition of community, like actual numbers. What is a good number of a group of people that you could have in a closed community that can take care of each other, can feed each other, can clothe each other, can educate each other, can look after each other, and provide a decent quality of life, and maximize the whole thing about permaculture, which is a term that he uses quite a bit. It's something very interesting, is how to figure out a new formula for people living together and thriving. Yeah, and the popular number that Benjamin uses, that a lot of there's a whole culture of folks, a whole community of people that discuss it, is a Dunbar's number, which is 150. So there are theories, there are formulas that exist, that recipes for, if you will, a successful community of people. Good morning, Jade. And I dig the idea of X number of people working together. You can have groups of 150 people. You could have several groups. You could have 150 groups of 150 people, but the formula is still the same. The structure is still the same, and I dig that very much. Homeschooling, the example that I love. I like going small because it's manageable for me. My number is 5. That's the number that I can deal with and use as an example. 5 people. I've noticed that a group of 5 can do a lot. A group of 5 is a great it's a great start for a band. It's a great start for a starship crew. It's a great thing for an adventuring. I was going to say 10 family. Yeah, well, exactly. But you could have a family of 5. You could have an adventure party in role-playing games as 5. You can have a military group, a squad of people, 5. You could have a team of, a sports team kind of thing of 5 people. It's 5 is a manageable number for a small group of people to be a family, to be a unit, and you could have several units. There you go. Check out that link if you're interested in learning about. That's interesting. That link right there, that Dunbar's number, is something Ben just revealed to me recently, and it's like how many people in a unit, how many units, how many units in a community, how many communities in a, the manageable numbers. So, but I like the scale of 5. Starts with 5, yeah. I like the scale of 5. I like working on that scale because I like van life. I like the idea of permaculture, which is just creating a system that works, a life system. Um, Building blocks, the foundation, what you need, like kind of like a house. The idea of permaculture to me is like a house. You need food in the house. You need power in the house. You need a place to sleep, a place to eat, a place to deposit waste. Let's put it that way. Like the a home needs a kitchen. A home needs a hearth. Um, you need security. You need protection from the environment. All right, take it easy, Ben. So you have a household. The household is 5 people. There are folks that are going to be responsible for cleaning sometimes. There are people that are going to be responsible for cooking sometimes. And there are people that are going to need to tend to that food, to create the food that the other person is going to prepare, that you're going to eat, that somebody else is going to clean up after. Like there's a whole system in a household. And um, I love the concept of, well, how do you make an ideal household? How do you make an ideal unit of 5 people um, that can eat better, sleep better, be more secure, be healthier, clean, efficient, uh, that they can teach each other, that you can learn things, you can explore, you can travel, you can, like what's the ideal setup where you're not stealing from the earth, you're in fact you're living so efficiently that you are replenishing the earth in a lot of ways. You're doing better for the earth. You're making things better than how you found it. um, like it's an interesting idea in so many ways that you could look at that, to make the machine run better, to make the community run better, because all these 150 people, let's say, are 30 groups of 5 people, and all 30 groups are working together. All the 5 people working within those 30 groups are working together, so it just runs efficiently. Finding resources, exactly. Hey, Cheryl. Hello, dear. So yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that it's so interesting to me. What's the most efficient way to teach? What's the most efficient way to deal with people, with differently abled people? How does one learn? How does one nurture their children? How does one, um, you know, keep the unit healthy? Hi, Myrna. Good morning. How does a unit entertain themselves? Um, the technology that you use, the technology you create, uh, how can systems like that work? And as a nerd, I always use the example, like in post-apocalypse, if there ever was a big EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that took out the population, where we had to make electricity all over again, sort of thing. Good to hear. If we had to figure out, how do we get power, how do we travel, how do we uh, we need to build buildings of shelter so that we can live in them. We need to grow and harvest food so that we can feed each other. We need to work with textiles, and use what we've learned from technology in the past to clothe ourselves and get clean water, and like you said, find your resources, educate your young, tend to the sick, prevent sickness if possible, like just make healthy people and keep people healthy, care for the elderly. There's so many aspects of permaculture that Ben's opened my eyes about. And it all ties into, like I said, that nerdy part of my brain that also really cares about how do we make humanity better. I blame the whole thing on Star Trek. Watching the next Star Trek, The Next Generation, I did not watch the original series, but I watched The Next Generation, and Gene Roddenberry had a vision of a utopian society. Now, maybe we'll never... Dark blue is a good color on you. Well, thank you. This is actually black and orange, but I do have dark blue. I do have dark blue, and thank you very much for saying so. Appreciate that, Doggo. Watching Star Trek Next Generation and seeing a vision of people that are not dependent on the pursuit of riches, the pursuit of money, but rather focus on the pursuit of bettering themselves as human beings, and specifically a star fleet, a group of people like this who basically represent the best that humanity has to offer, exploring the galaxy and finding other races and helping them, humanitarian aid and learning more about technology and growing as human beings. Like, that fascinates me a great deal. So that's always been something that's been in my heart. Black is a good color on YouTube. Thank you. So, and thank you for the award as well. So that's always been something that's been on my mind, which is, why aren't we doing that now? Why can't we have the technology now to make our lives better, and the focus going away from money and more towards like travel? My whole thing, like that's in the end, that's what motivated me to stay alive, is the idea of, if I'm by myself, I want to be happy. I want to live as close as I can to that Star Trek life, which means becoming less dependent on money and more dependent on, how do I better myself as a person? I really need to focus on me being real, enjoying the things that I do, dealing with my passion, and finding other people that are passionate about what they like, having nice conversation, providing that to the internet, providing that to the world. Be positive, be creative, be supportive of other people and their creativity, and entertain people, put smiles on people's faces. That's all because of my nerdiness, all because of my love of Star Trek, all because of that whole concept of, why not try to be better and try to encourage other people to work towards being better. Be positive, test negative. There you go. And that's caused me a lot of anxiety as well, because I want to move in one direction, but the world kind of doesn't want you to move in that direction. So many people are absolutely sure that go to high school, get your diploma, go to college, get a degree, get the house, get the job, and you get the house with a picket fence. You find a spouse, you have kids, you continue at your job. Like, everybody gets a career because you went to college. You automatically get a career, and you work, and you eat 3 meals a day, and you watch 2 hours of television. You go to bed. Everything's clean. Everything's great. You have the house. You need your boat because you need your recreation, because you need all these things to fill your life with in a particular pattern. And that's the way that life is. And then eventually your kids go off and they do their own thing. Then you retire and you live happily ever after. and then you pass away peacefully in your sleep, with all your riches and all this, the completely fulfilled life. And that's not the way that life is. Life is not some predetermined formula that is cookie cutter, that everybody, not everybody lives the life the same way. Yeah, I'm gonna reboot my Periscope career. It's the perfect time. Not everybody's gonna live their life the same way. Not everybody, 1930s, 1940s, whatever, pre-war America is not the perfect formula. Other cultures have other ways that they exist, and because with the internet, because the world's a smaller place because of technology over the years, because the world's a different place, you're starting to find that clash between cultures, a culture clash, if you will, where there isn't harmony, there isn't peace, because everyone's had drilled in their head of this one way that life's supposed to be, and that's not right. It's not supposed to be one way. You have to allow yourself to go your way, and you'll be okay with it. Yeah. So we're in a position right now. Everybody, humanity, as a whole, is in a position right now where we really have to figure out, like, instead of button heads, instead of this conflict that we constantly have over Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, the Western way of the perfect life, as opposed to other parts of the country. We really have to figure out what is the best way, or what is. Let's figure out a way that we can. Let's find the best in everything, and take those best parts and combine it together in a way that can work. Not so much about money, but about preserving humanity and improving humanity. Let's try to come up with some concepts that aren't the way that we did it before, or in a lot of ways, like I said, you have old ways, and then you have old ways, really old ways. And some of those are systems that we might have to go back to. Mass production was fantastic for what it was. During wartime, you needed things to be done. You needed that mass production. You needed something quick and something efficient, because there weren't a lot of people around at the time, or everyone's going to war. You need to start taking care of the people at home, sort of thing. So it's let's get the machines to help with that. Let's figure out a different way to do things. And at the time, for an industrial revolution kind of a thing, for the second industrial revolution, you have technological advances that have helped in a particular time period, and that's fine. But that's kind of gotten out of control. The idea of mass production, the idea of consumerism. We're not in a place now where we need the stuff. We're more in a place where people are programmed to think that they need stuff, but we really don't. We need to start dialing it back a little bit. It's gotten a little out of control. And I can understand that's why people that think that way are considered wackos. Just because, this is the way that it's been the past 50, 60, 70 years. This is the way that life has been, where it's things are done a certain way, and I need to eat because television tells me I need to eat. Advertising says that. I need to have, you know, I need to mate. I need to find my partner. I need to, uh, you know, I need a boat. I need to go on vacation. I need to save for retirement. I need to take out a loan. I need to, I need to have, more money. I need to have more sex drive. I need to have more, uh, you know, I need a bigger house. I need more cars. I need a better car. I need a better phone constantly. I need, all this technology is available. I need it. I have to have it. Consume, 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 because that's how it is. There are 2 people living in my household, but I need to buy a 24 pack of double roll paper towels because you need it. Bigger and better and faster, and gimme. So, and then I get that like ache in my chest, like that, almost like a heartburn feeling kind of thing, that I get worked up because thinking about the way things are, and that we just, the gradual programming of people to go in, to herd them in one direction, where like this is the way someone can say something enough to you that you just kind of start moving in that direction of need the latest video game system. Yeah, exactly. um uh just, it bothers me that people are being corralled, and I don't want to make it sound like a conspiracy theory, but my band was called Kings of Awesome. Yes, Jameson. I don't want to sound like one of those conspiracy theorists, but there is something to the fact. I mean, there is something to it where you can be conditioned to believe things are a certain way because we have senses and we take in information, and when information is repeatedly given to us that things are a certain way and should be a certain way, and that's not the case, I think that's the reason why we feel so anxious, why there's so much anxiety and depression, why there's so many, why the brain just ends up becoming this thing where, your attention span shortens, your need for something to satisfy you increases. Hey, Kathy, my love. I don't think it's so crazy to consider the possibility that people over time are conditioned to think that life is supposed to be a certain way. I mean, the commercials just don't come out of thin air. People make the commercials. Those ads that you see day after day after day, those songs that you get in your head, those images that you get in your head, and just become like, if you, I mean, and a lot of conservative people out there say that about video games, that video games are rotting the minds of kids. The video games are encourage violence. What is so difficult? I mean, why is it that video games It's possible for video games and for music to influence people, but not the commercials, not the advertisements that you see for a certain way of thinking, a certain way of living your life. Like, why is it that people can pick and choose the things that are bad, that affect people, but other things, oh, that's crazy. That's not true. You know, um, I didn't really word that well, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. You know, it's not crazy to say that you're being conditioned a certain way by some people, but then it's perfectly fine to say that you're being conditioned by some things, but it's not ridiculous to say you're being conditioned by other things as well. You can't have it both ways. And there's a lot to say about that. Like, maybe you are conditioned. I've certainly have played video games, and then it's taken a while after playing those video games to get my mind in another mode. You get so. Thanks for the subscribe, Kathy. You get you play a racing game where you're constantly going at 250 miles an hour, taking these turns and stuff, and hitting these jumps, and or like a GTA kind of thing where you can crash into people. There's no consequences. You can drive down the road and cut corners and jump and drive over meridians and jump off a highway, on ramps and smash into other cars and blow shit up, and then there's no consequence. You just get back up, or you respawn, you get into the car, you do it again. There have been times where you play a game like that and your brain's like that, and then you get behind the wheel of a vehicle, and for a second you're like, no, okay, no, wait, I gotta change my mode. I can't think like that. I can't drive like I drive in video games. I gotta drive for real. Or you go to a movie, you see a movie that excites you, and you're like, there are guys, and I'm pretty sure this happens to a lot of guys. I can't speak for women, but I can speak for men and say that there are times where a guy goes in to watch a martial arts flick, some action movie with a bunch of kicks and punches and jumps and stuff like that, a whole bunch of choreographed fight scenes, and you come out of it like, yeah, or you're thinking, you're like, oh man, life, you consider for a second, what if life's like that? What if I gotta go jump into a car and go driving up drive up a building, or want to punch somebody and dive across the hood of my car and jump into it, hit the gas, and peel out. Like, you get jazzed and you think about things a certain way when you get invested in it. I don't think that's any different than watching commercials over and over again. Buy this, see that, do this, go here, get your boat, get your trailer, get you this, get you that. Eat this product, drink this product, get yourself some now, get it. You need to buy it, go buy it. You need to eat, go to the restaurant. You're hungry, eat. And that I can say a lot of, for women, it's like, be beautiful. You need to be beautiful. You get this makeup, buy this hairspray, buy this makeup, buy these clothes. Go shopping. Your kids need clothes too. They need stuff. Do you have enough backpacks and notebooks and clothes? Do you have enough shoes? Do you have enough stuff? You better be careful. You better get the stuff, because it's on sale, so you have to get it. Maybe you didn't need it before, but now that we tell you something's 25% off, you better take advantage of that, because it's for a limited time. Holiday, same thing. Yeah, it's consume, buy this, buy that. Mother's Day's coming. Buy stuff for your wife. Buy stuff for women. Valentine's Day's coming. Buy stuff for women. Easter's coming. Did you buy stuff for your kids? Summer's coming. Did you buy stuff for your kids? School's starting. Did you buy stuff for your kids? Don't want to go without. Don't want to miss out. Do you want to relax? You have to buy this. Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to be faster? Do you want to be healthier? Do you want to be better in bed? Do you want to find your mate? Better buy this. Better take these. Well, there's so much of that it makes me very, very happy to be in the position where I am. Like Easter, we don't buy much. We do dye eggs and visit grandparents. Yeah. Spend time with family. Like, there should be more of those commercials. There should be a commercial that says, when's the last time you called your mom? Tell her you love her. That's it. That's the whole thing right there. That's the whole commercial. But that doesn't make money. People need to make money. They need to promote things that can make them money. So, all right, I'm done ranting. I've ranted. In conclusion, I don't want your life to be that. I don't want your life to be just an emptiness inside that you're programmed to fill with things. I want people to sit or be in motion, not be in motion, lay in bed, sit in a chair, stand up, go for a walk, whatever you want to do. But I want to create a community of people that, rather than heading towards a direction of consume and do this and you need this and you need that, more of a what can make you a better person. Focus on that. How can you be happier? That's important to me. You being happy, you being entertained, cool conversation, relaxing conversation, laid back, thought-provoking, entertaining, stimulating conversation that will help you think about things to inspire you to create and to improve yourself as a person. If at the very least, improve your state of mind where you don't feel bad as much as you do, where you feel more confident about it, because that's something that I want. I don't want anything different than for anybody else than that I already want for myself. I want to be a better person. I want to be more entertained. I want to feel better about myself, be more confident about myself. I want to think about things that and share ideas, things that can improve my life and other people's lives. I want to travel and experience things and see things and eat delicious things and meet interesting people, and like, I want a fulfilled life. And that's great. For me to live a fulfilled life is fantastic, but what would be even better is to share that with other people. It's my goal. So, all right, that's it for me. That's my time. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I love you guys very much. If you're watching this on any other form of media, thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. Happy Hump Day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Here comes the weekend. You're almost there. But I love you. Stay safe. Stay happy, healthy. Know that you're loved. And for the new folks, if you've never watched me before, please follow. Always nice to make new friends. Share the broadcast with your friends. And I will talk to you very soon. Love your face.